Hello everyone, I'm Overhaul, and today I'm reviewing Lego Movie 2, the second part. And as you can tell, I'm extremely excited because this movie is quite possibly one of the best movies, if not the best movies. I mean, it depends if the Avengers in Endgame is not going to ruin itself completely by having Captain Marvel just come in and beat Thanos on her own. But if we consider how the people have been reacting to it, it's very bad. But you get it. If this is quite possibly one of the best movies, and we just started the year, so yeah, the Lego Movie 2 was practically perfection incarnate. So yeah, let's get on with the story first, and then I'll just talk about everything the characters and everything else. So yeah, the story for this movie. The real life story is supposed to be just because you're older, that doesn't mean you can't play with your little sister, or just because you get older doesn't mean you need to grow up and start doing things in a more grown-up-esque way. Which is why all the characters of the universe look like these Mad Max Fury Road type characters. Because that's a more mature movie, so that's what's with that. But to the actual story in canon, it goes like this. The movie begins with the thing that happened in the last one, and the ending with Duplo invasion. Then we get a little brief flashes of what's been happening with Duplo's invade, and basically what you would expect. Try to give us as much of the history of the world, what's been happening between the years. So yeah. Then we say that pretty much everyone got older. They got tougher, which is the reason why, again, they look like this, because apparently they look tougher like this. Yeah. So yeah, then we get introduced to Ahmed, and he is basically the same as you could say. I mean, I believe there's a little slight change in his design, but mostly it's the same. He's supposed to represent the childish behavior of some Lego fans that are older, or something. Then he goes to meet Lucy, and she's monologuing in a very intense voice. We also get to introduce to some older characters like Metalbeard, Benny, Scrabble Cop, and just introduced. Also, apparently, Unique became Emmett and Lucy's pet after her island is sunk. From a princess to a common house cat. Whoa, the mighty have fallen. So yeah, then Emmett, because of his naivety and, not really naivety, just stroke of bad luck, because he made a more colorful house, the people from the star system came, General Mayhem, and she invaded. They tried to fight her off, but the ship is just too advanced. And they are able to, and she gets in, and they are able to hide in the fortress, and Batman has his whole, "You're welcome, son," because apparently he defeated the ship. Well, he did destroy the ship. Also, Batman is the only hero in the world, except for the classic Aquaman. Which also, if you're wondering why am I calling the classic Aquaman in film the classic version, is because they're literally calling that. Back to story. So yeah. After that, General Mayhem, because of Ahmed's naivety, and just a common joke thing, gets in, and Shaq says she wants the greatest leader, and basically she grabs all of the ones there because, they say, we are all the special, so we are all the leader. And she says, I can only take like 5 at most. Most. Which I would kind of question because of metal beads or, being just a treasure chest, but how? I've seen worse things. So yeah. She grabs them and leaves. Then Ahmed, when he wakes up because he got unconscious, he says he's gonna go and save them. He asks for people to help him because, there's an army of them, but none of them really want help him because they blame him, which is somewhat legitimate. And because they all grow up and you're still acting so childish, and if you lead, it will be something horrible happened. So he goes there. Then when he's finished building a ship, he leaves. He goes to space, and at the meantime, Wildstar and all those captors meet Queen Wallaby. And just to say, this may not be my favorite moment of the movie, but it's definitely the only part about the movie where I was like, I need to buy the set that this is based on. I'm not joking. After Queen I Wanna Be's introduction, and the song was also a good point, I just want to buy that set. So yeah. After that, we cut back to Ahmed, who meets Rex. Rex saves him from the asteroids because, he wasn't exactly prepared for asteroids. Which I am wondering what was that in the context of the world, real reality. I mean, I think they explain it, but I don't exactly remember. But yeah, Rex comes and saves him, and Ahmed wants to convince him to help save his friends. And Rex does so. After that, they go to the random planet because Rex says, I have no regrets if we go to the wrong one. But they end up to going to not the right one, but they do manage to get to the one that leads them to get to the right one. So yeah. In the meantime, everyone else is doing, the relaxing seasonal thing, like a massage, like there's a vampire mini doll, and, basically try to make them not be rough and like this, and more cuddly and squishy and adorable and child friendly. So yeah. After that, Lucy and the others are put in some kind of, are put in the places where we believe they're being brainwashed, but well, it's just good music to get you in the tone. So yeah. Then Lucy escapes because she's, not exactly into it, and she's the most resisting of it. Also, Lucy's hair, the black stripes are actually blue stripes. Just so you know. So yeah. After that, Rex and Ahmed, they get to one planet with raptors. They go there and raptors get captured and entertained and fight or whatever they're called. And then they're listening to another song which plays equally with the Lucy's thing. And they nearly manage to escape. No, they get captured, is the more correct terms, in which Rex shuts up puts a bars to block people to get in, but it's because they're in an alleyway, and he convinces Emmett to break through the floor so they can escape. They do so, and they get out, and they get to the place where, all the Lego bricks are being sorted, and the Duplo builds are presumably living. So yeah, when they're there, they find a way to get to the main place because there's a train that leads specifically to the location where the final what would we call the the main domain I was just gonna call it the whole cake island place in Lego Movie 2. So they go there and so in the meantime we cut to the Batman and Queen Wannabe and Batman Batman proposes to Queen Wannabe and they basically wanna marry. After that, Lucy is able to escape well, not really escape. She jumps from the bus that was partying underneath it to go because she saw Emmett and Rex. When they're there and they come to the the main planet, that Lucy, Emmett, and Rex decide a plan. So the plan is Lucy shuts down the barrier because all the things are coming from one specific place, which is a telephone. Rex will be on his ship to save everyone, and Emmett will break it all. Because now he can break things with one punch. Like One Punch Man. So yeah, that's the plan. Lucy goes to do her part of the plan, and she fights General Mayhem in 1-to-1 women's fight. And it's just done great. Also, apparently, General Mayhem in the meantime uses these little stars as those razor blades that people have. It's just hilarious. So yeah, they use it and they come out victorious. So Lucy comes victorious after removing General Mayhem's helmet, but General Mayhem just too adorable not to save. And General Mayhem explains it all, and it turns out that the whole Queen Wannabe, the Duplos, everything from the sister system, they're actually just innocent people that have a horrible communication system. Like, super horrible. I mean, they can't even make a song that doesn't make you think, oh, this person is clearly evil. I mean, they literally have these types of spell out, like, you would think, yeah, these guys are clearly evil. It's clearly just a magical lab where everything inside is actually corrupted monstrosities. So yeah. Then Lucy goes to the wedding because she's convinced now. And Emmett goes and sees it, and at this point it's revealed that Rex is the real main villain. So yeah. Emmett sees it and he thinks, oh no, they got to her somehow. I mean, she has blue hair for God's sakes. And then Emmett goes and he tries the best to just finish the mission as fast as he can. Which Lucy tries to explain the whole misunderstanding, but he's like, you wanted me to grow up so many times. You said so many times that, yeah, you're clearly just brainwashed. And he goes and he breaks it. The entire planet, everything just gets destroyed. Everyone starts crying. Because remember, this is through a viewpoint of I would say, 10-year-old, 6-year-old, I don't know, around that time period, girl. So for her awakening to feel is basically like, end of the world! Which did end up being a thing. Oh my god, for God's sakes. So yeah. When that happens, Rex saves Emmett and takes him to the ship. And then everyone else just crumbles. Which is also shown with Mother in real life coming there and stabbing all the Lego bricks, and she very just, and she's barefooted, so it kind of hurts. So she screams and says, all your Legos, put them in a box and put them away. Also, we get a little cameo saying from the Lord Business Father character, where he's like, do whatever your mother says. Which is just hilarious. So yeah. The girl and the boy start putting all of their Legos, damn you parents, damn you, in the boxes. So yeah. Now everything gets put in, which is, to us it looks like genetic things, like how you would expect, but that's like a full-on, oh my god, the like black hole in the middle of the universe type thing. I mean, everything gets bloody red, everything is in dark, you would think that. And so let me show you what happens. Batman and Queen Whatever I Wanna Be. Also, we find out the Queen Whatever I Wanna Be is actually the heart that Emmett gave to the Duplos builds. That's an interesting plot twist, I imagined. So yeah, which I think we could. I think we could tell by the coloring of it. Okay, so yeah. And then we get this scene where Queen Wannabe just is apart and she gets taken to the box and like, no, my queen! Oh, just horrific. So yeah, this happens. In the meantime, Lucy is in the real world, and she sees everything, like how the child's putting them away, but you know. Then Emma's like, what the heck is going on? What the fuck? Because, you know, to him, this is like, what, how is this happening? Like, he wanted to prevent this, and to him, that was, you know, I mean, and then it's revealed Rax is actually future Ahmed, which I think we could all have predicted. But yeah, it's future Ahmed, and Rax then sends Ahmed to, well, here's his full backstory, okay, which I'll get into the chapter section. And then he sends Ahmed to, well, do the, you know, under the refrigerator, under the washing machine. Yes, sets him on the washing machine, which is apparently the forgotten place, which is going to his backstory. So yeah, then then after that, everyone puts their Legos into the box, and they put it back in. And they put him back and said it's over basically. So yeah. Then the Lego start saying everything's not awesome, and you know, basically trying to make us all to be happy because they are practically dying. So they do manage it happy, and they do, and Queen Wallaby does reassemble into a heart piece, and then the kid actually hears it. What the fuck? And then he opens up and sees it, and he's like, and then he and his sister fix the relationship. But Rex the problem, because as we found out, Rex actually is a Lego that moves on its own in the real world. It's not just like this. It's actually like, yeah, I'm the boss. Yeah, he completely moves it. And Ahmed, because he wants to save his friends and all that, does as well. Move. And, you know, it goes like how you would expect. They have a little fight. But since this is in a real world, like, you can tell it's real because, well, it's not Lego fight or in how that would look in the Lego world. And that's how it's like, you know, how you would expect it to be. But unfortunately, Rex is better than Ahmed, and he nearly kills him. I think he shavels his spine a bit. But yeah. Then Lucius shows up and makes the world Lego fight. Rex tries to run away, or he tries to go back into the past again, so he can do it so many times until he's right, so everyone dies and he is the one that lives. So yeah. But Lucy is able to actually it would be outsmart him. If that was purely by luck, because it does seem like if Shift and Rex fought, Rex would win 100%. So yeah, they fight and win. Rex explains that, well, dude, I'm from the future. This doesn't happen, I disappear. And Rex disappears, which is Jelak thinks. But he calls out comedically, like it should have. And then after that, the kids decide to be, you know, fans again, and they go outside to play with Legos, which is the most adult thing to do. So yeah, Mother asks and she sees them, but she's like, oh, they can play. I mean the problem pretty much came because they couldn't get along, but now they do. And then we have the real life scenario where the father like, honey, where are my pants? Referencing the Where Are My Pants show in the first movie. So yeah, it's fun. It's hilarious. Yes. So yeah. Now the way we end the entire show is like with President Business coming back and saying, because he was at a golf course for like, what was it, 5 or so years? Well, that was a long golf game. And I feel like the way they kind of end with them, him in his hair set on fire and running into the fire workshop might be a bit of just justification, because the way he just ended in the first movie may not like people that he should be a bit punished a bit more. I mean, he did murder, he did plan to do something extremely horrible, but maybe just there to be comedic. Most likely just there to be comedic. So yeah, the story for the movie and the whole general concept is perfect. So now, with that out of the way, let's get into the characters. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the other ones, but how I go about it. So Emmett, this movie is supposed to show that it's time for him to grow up, that he stops acting like how he acted in the previous movie, that he needs to act like, like a Mad Max character. Which he technically does end up with Rex, but still. So yeah. He's talking more like this, less like cuddly, less friendly and all that. So yeah. So he does first he does try to act, first he doesn't act at all like that. But then he does start acting like that. But it's clear he's just forcing himself. And more and more it goes, and more it shows how corrupted that can be. I mean, he doesn't believe in anyone anymore. Just because it's the grown-up thing to do. So yeah, Emmett goes and acts pretty much like he does, and there are small times but he's forcing himself. Until the parts where he's still supposed to be like more mature. But it shows at the end that when he destroyed it all, that wow, I should have done that. Like, what did... Because that's kind of a snap back to reality. And outside of that horrible futurist type character. So yeah. The way he gets rid of... So yeah. And then it's also... So great how he says that, yeah, I'm not gonna abandon them again. I'm not gonna abandon them to die just because they saw Rex. It was kind of like that. But yeah, the main thing that drives Emma in this movie is Lucy, because he wants to save her the most because they are a couple. But yeah, it's very good. And then we have Lucy. The thing that drives her in this movie is the fact that she's supposed to be this tough, this, again, Mad Max character. But, she needs to realize that you can act as mature as all you want, but, and yeah, that's not going to save every goddamn problem. Hell, if she would act the way she acts in the beginning, she would help in the destruction of the world. Well, she did help the destruction of the world, but she would not be the one. She would actually be the wreck which it was cast. So yeah, it's good that she's first begins as super serious, but then after the progression of the story, she's he's acting. I mean, at the beginning she's like, no, Emmett, you must be more mature, more grown up. And then during that she realizes, I guess being Charlotte isn't a big problem. And then the end she's like, I guess I could be a bit more childless as well. So yeah, she's basically supposed to be the people who are like, who are gonna be like, this is so childless and what little kids. But right now she shows that she realizes that, that's not a bad thing, being a bit like a kid sometimes, which is pretty good. Then we have Batman. He is a ball of hilariousness. Also, it's implied that the Lego Batman movie is happening between these 5 years, or how many years of gap there was, because the Justice League moments, they'll say he's probably off having a solo adventure or a solo movie or something like that. Which that explains why the Justice League was in the Lego Batman movie at the end. So yeah, he's being used mainly to be the marriage between him and Queen wherever I wanna be, and it's just hilarious how this romance goes. I like it how he at the end does marry her and legitimate, even though it is made first just because he hates it's Superman. He's not gonna let that happen. No, though I'm not sure if they are dating or if they are married at the end of the movie, but I'm assuming they are. So yeah, then to the other characters. For the most part, Unikitty, Metalbeard, Benny, they don't really do much. They are mostly just there as, because they can't just roll them out because of such pieces and they're entertaining. So yeah, they are nothing much. People like Retrievers, he doesn't appear at all in the movie. I know the reason was probably because of the voice actor, but I'm wondering what's the in-canon reason. I mean, maybe he came out as a cameo, maybe they mentioned it, but I forgot. I don't really know. No. Bad Cop, Good Cop, or Scribble Cop, or whatever it's called, his name is, it does appear slightly, but I believe it's just to make a joke when Emmett's walking down the street. And then Lord President Business, like I said, at the beginning he appears and says, well, I have to go into a golf course. At the end, he has a whole fireworks things. And now to the new characters. First one to the new characters is General Mayhem. I think the role in the movie was a bit less than the way the trailers were kind of leaving her on, but in the end of the day, she did have some good moments. And her little talk with Wildstar was very touching, because he said, I'm trying to be like you. I mean, why else if I put that helmet, it does kind of look like Boba Fett's helmet, or, the generic bounty hunter helmet, right, that she looked. Which can be a ref showing that, yeah, you can act adult, but you're gonna be a child no matter what. I mean, you can mimic it, but still. So yeah, so that's how it goes, and there was a little line where I kind of thought she was going to turn out to be the main bad guy, but it turned out to be nothing. How the entire population seems to be have a problem where they're wait, did you guys just do something evil and so yeah. She gets kind of a lesser role than the way she was kind of portrayed to be, but was fun. Although she might also be dating Benny because the way they kind of have it, but maybe it's just there because you could kind of swap those two. Maybe something like that. Then we have Queen Whatever I Wanna Be, who is priceless. I mean, her I Am Not Evil, I'm Not Evil song is just hilarious, as well as Gotham Guys. It's also hilarious. The whole reveal at her being the heart that Emmett gave to Duplos at the beginning is, well, no one was predicting that, and it was surprising. It was also great. And they do reference this is her original form. This is her real form. So it's good. And I do like her little moments with Batman, like first date, then when they are meeting and they know each other extremely well, and then the end when they're trying to constantly, make each other look, I'll save you, no, I'll save you, I'll save you. It's just funny. And now to the final new character to talk about, that's Rex. And now, some people could call him, this plot twist about him being the main villain is a bit of nowhere. But if you ask me, there was set up, and kind of, you really think about it, makes sense why he was the main. I mean, for starters, by his design, he seemed like, alright, there is clearly some connection with Ant-Man. Some direct connection. Granted, I was trying out the idea that Rex would be Ant-Man's brother, maybe Ant-Man was like, oh, I need help, I know, my cousin or my brother that I just don't remember I have. Or something like that. And not time traveling Ant-Man from the future that's evil. But yeah, I thought it was on some connection. And how even Ant-Man, the way how he says it twice or 3 times, I do believe he just mentions it twice, as he's like, is this just a different, is this, so you can see him too. I just thought I was delusional. I was imagining just the one person I wish I could be. in which was good by to the whole build up. There was, besides the fact that he seems to be clearly connected to M in some way, there were some things like him being able to, you know, what was I trying to say again? Him knowing about the Bricksburg thing in the last movie. I mean, the way the General Mayhem speaks, he seemed to be unaware of anything. Which, yeah, you can say that's because of the kids, but again, in the story, how would that make sense for him to know of it? Right. And, you know, it's a bit suspicious. And then there's the whole space traveling thing, which he says, I and my friends, we went there in space. They crashed into the meteor, and I fall into the planet where I was stuck, and my friends didn't come. I don't believe he actually, I think he states that his friends never came for him, so I don't believe he actually states that he escaped. That's what he says. So yeah, that does sound interesting. So yeah, that's a bit weird because, I mean, they referenced at the beginning of the movie that Justice League was sent to go save them. So why is it that Ant-Man doesn't know about him? Wouldn't he be aware of that? And also, how was he saved? So that's the thing that makes you question. And then there's the whole thing with him constantly being suspicious. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? So yeah. And how he just follows Ant-Man, that's also something. So yeah, after that, so yeah. And then it's revealed that he's the villain. He's like, where? He's like, who is the villain? And he's like, and I don't believe he says anything that's like super villain-like, but he just, you know, it's like clear that he's the main villain. Now, the full story with Drax is this. It's the same thing as Ant-Man was doing. Ant-Man was going to save his friends and he rebuilt his ship, and he was left alone with only Plant there. So he goes there and he crashes into the asteroid. Which would happen if Rex didn't show up and save him. Then when that happens, Rex falls under the washing machine and he's there for a while. Like a long time. I mean, the wedding takes place and everything. And after that, he just gets angry and angrier. And then eventually he starts moving like a real figure. About as much as a figure can move. I mean, I mentioned when they're real, they can only get limited to their movement. So yeah, he goes there. I don't believe there's a later moments where they make it the anime to the point they can do whatever they want, because he does like make his entire new face. He changes his clothing and all. Then after that, he grabs all the, well, at least I believe 5 or 4, just some of the more famous time machines, and builds them into his ship. He goes back in time to get to Velociraptors, and then he decides to, I will get you to help me get my revenge, because he was for so long alone, where everybody else was partying and all, doing all that. You get kind of sick and left alone for eternity. I mean, the girl, didn't see him, and the boy, well, he already had the whole Max characters, so he forgot about him. So yeah, that makes sense. His final fight was this, like I said, and it was just done well. And the logo actually gets, and the whole thing when he says in the future, you prevented from becoming this. So I clearly will stop existing. But I'll do, and I was like, give me your hand. And he's like, it doesn't matter. And he's like, I'll die like I live. With no regrets. Well, except with the regret of not trademarking this. It's just funny. So yeah. Now, if there was any problems I would mention, I believe, like I said, with some of the characters falling off short. With even this movie being a musical, there are not really many songs that really stuck into your head. Like there's literally a song stuck in your head, and yeah, that song then got stuck in my head, and I don't really liked it that much. I mean, it's only I'm Not Evil and the Gotham City Guys are the only songs that I would actually listen to. So yeah. The movie was great, and if I had any tears for it, well, if I had any tears left that weren't coming out from a direct hit in the eyes, I would definitely cry at a point where basically it seemed it was over. When they were all put in the boxes, Emma was thrown under the refrigerator, not refrigerator, the washing machine, and they were all, and it just spelled the end. I honestly thought that was over. Like, is this already the end? I mean, which kind of made sense. The way that, because the way people think of Legos is just so childish, so maybe this was going to be their way to say, well, it's over. I mean, they are growing up and they're gonna be fine. They're just going to put them in the boxes and nothing, and they're not gonna play more. Which is just, again, I think of that and that moment, and it's just such a memory that makes me sad. And it makes me want to cry, but again, I cannot fucking cry! Oh, that's what direct hit, but, I mean, come on. Who wouldn't hit back up? Who wouldn't cry if they got, I don't know, feel pain directly into their body parts? So yeah, this movie was great. The emotional scenes were done amazing. The story was great. And the way how we end this is with Emma being like, find out, wait, Lucy, you were the one that was making, that would Prada make the Everything's Awesome song? Which was just fun. A fun way to add, like, oh, it was just hilarious. And the end credits were also amazing. I mean, the song isn't really so catchy as it should be, but it was amazing how we just see these like Break Cats builds, like, you know, dancing and moving a little bit around, which is great. It was an excellent beginning, an excellent ending. This movie was just, I will call it perfection. I mean, even if it's not the best movie there, it's definitely one of the best movies. Because it was just so great. Now anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. Sure. And I hope you go watch Lego Movie 2 because it's amazing. Just amazing. But anyways, see you all